Well, I feel that justice was done. You know, this man was never guilty of anything. He killed his mother in self-defense, and it was a very clear case of self-defense from the get-go. You know, if this wasn't self-defense, then self-defense doesn't exist in this state.
What do you think, what were you thinking as the jury went into full day 2 in deliberations?
You know, I try not to second-guess a jury. I've been doing this a very long time, and I try not to have any preconceived notions about what that means. Sometimes it's good for us, sometimes it's bad for us. I think the jury put a lot of thought into it.
And the trial itself, Seth, do you think it went well? It was handled fairly by the judge in terms of the sort of mechanics of the trial itself?
You know, they say that law is like making sausage. You know, it's not always a pretty process, but I think overall this was a fair trial. You know, I disagree with some of the rulings, but overall it was a fair trial. Everyone did their job, you know, the way they thought was appropriate, but at the end of the day, justice was done.
And as the time went on during deliberations, at any point were you starting to have doubts about the way the verdict would go, or did you just not think about it that way?
We try to keep an open mind. You know, we try not to read anything into it. It's hard for everyone when it takes longer, but I've had good verdicts that took a week. I've had bad verdicts that took a day. Come on.
Your client, he's obviously going back to jail right now just for, I imagine, out processing. What happens now with Adam?
He gets released, and this case is behind him, and he gets to try to heal from all the trauma he's been through. I mean, it's hard to imagine, as I said in closing argument, the trauma that he went through because of this experience, and he's had to do his grieving in jail, which is what happens with clients, indigent clients of the public defender, is that they have to do their grieving in jail.
And he's been in jail since his March arrest of 2011, right?
Yeah, he was arrested when he walked out of the hospital, and he's been in jail ever since.
And again, this is asking you to try to guess what the jury might have been thinking, but was there any aspect of the trial that you recall that you think may have had the most profound effect on the jury in terms of saying, yes, this was self-defense, which is ultimately what they determined?
I really can't say.
Okay. And do you know when Mr. Raszynski will be released from jail? Is it a matter of just this evening, or?
You know, sometimes it takes hours just because of their processes, but it should be tonight. Yeah, he's a free man.
And where does he go? Do you know?
I don't know.
Don't know. Thanks so much.
Okay. You're welcome.